So, shall we start?
Yes, why not? Would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure, ma'am. Thank you so much. So, my name is Jashpal Singh, and I am from Jammu and Kashmir. And
Oh,
if I will talk
wow.
about, I have completed masters in political science, and my hobbies are reading books. So all genres of reading different kind of books, but the philosophical is most interesting that I find it. And if you ever ask me what I'm doing right now, I'm pursuing my studies. But you can say that I'm a YouTuber as well as motivational speaker because I do these kind of things along with. So yeah, that's all about me, man.
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah,
It's very nice to know that you belongs to Kashmir. How do I say Kashmir or Kashmir? How do I
Kashmir.
pronounce it?
So people,
Kashmir. Bec because you know that song say Kashmir ki kali, they say Kashmir.
yeah, I think the people who are from Jammu and Kashmir, they simply call it Kashmir. But for the
Okay,
people who belongs to other parts of India, they may not call it Kashmir. They may call it
Kashmir.
Kashmir. Yeah,
Okay, so nice to hear about you. You are motivational speaker as well. So I think this session going to be very nice. I will learn so many things from you today.
for sure.
Yes. Your video is frozen in between, but let's see how we will go.
Okay. So, the only thing you need to do is that little more, hard work have to put in to edit the video. That's it.
Okay, as long as your voice is clear, that should be okay.
Okay. So, could you please introduce so that I may get an idea a little bit? Yeah.
Yes, why not? As you know, my name is Hema, and I was raised and born in Delhi, India. I have completed my post graduation in Hindi honors. After getting married, I came to Australia, and here I have completed my Bachelor of Education, and then I have been working as a teacher here. So, by profession, I'm a teacher. And besides, I have a channel on YouTube, which is the art of speaking English. That is all about me.
Thank you, ma'am. So, basically, I think there been a diversity in your life, like doing, I think, studying the Delhi in Hindi, I think, masters in Hindi, isn't it?
Master in Hindi honors.
Hindi honors, and then you shifted to Australia, right?
Yes, yes. After getting married, yes, I came to Australia.
Are you married to a Australian person or Indian person?
Indian person.
Okay, we can say that
Indian.
you are Indian diaspora living in Australia.
Yes,
Diaspora.
yes. My husband, he was in India at that time, and after getting married, he said he wanted to apply for Australia. So he applied. So we just came here.
Okay. So these are the
Yes.
things. Now, what are the subjects that you are teaching in Australia, right?
I teach here young children. I just make sure that I help them to develop their sense of belonging, their emotional and physical well-being well developed. I work on their cognitive skills and make sure they are fully social. So I just work on that. We focus on children's study here much because when they are little, from that time they need to learn and they need to learn as a lifelong learner. So they're going to be citizen here. So we want from their childhood they need to develop all these qualities.
Okay. So what is, I think, like the spiritual aspect of your life, like in India, we celebrate these things like festivals and they are included, the spiritual aspect is included in the Indian festivals, but not in the, other parts of the world, like they focus more on materialistic things as compared to spiritual. So, how's that in your life?
Yeah, you can say that but because we are abroad and people they are more materialistic. But personally, because I am from India, so I believe in spirituality. I follow spiritual things. I do worship. I take fast, and I believe this world is temporary. This is a material world. And yes, all this I just try to keep my culture on here. And we have some Indians here, they want to teach and raise their children in that way. Children, they understand the value of their own culture.
So, when you people say me like they are from India but living in other parts of the world. So I have generally, question for the people in mind, like, you are in Australia and you may be in another country as well. So what are the value system that you are carrying from India to, basically the values that you are promoting to other world around? Like these are the things that we people in India celebrate, enjoy in our daily life.
Yeah,
After all,
so we,
yeah,
yes, yes.
after all, yeah, you are, I think ambassadors of India. Like if I were to see from the soft power perspective, because hard power, to show off hard power, we have the economy, we have the military power, we have, executive influence, something like that. But when it comes to, I think, soft power, then we have like culture, we have Indian diaspora, leading the world. Like you can take an example like the British Prime Minister is Rishi Sunak is Indian, origin. The other person like the Sundar Pichai, top executive of the Google is from India, and there are so many people around the world. So basically, you are mask of India. You are all people are ambassadors of India, carrying the soft power perspective of India. So what are that perspective that you are carrying as an Indian to the outer world from India?
Definitely, I carry my spirituality and I carry my moral values because we are not in India at this moment. And when we are not in our country, we understand the values of our countries. We miss our country. We understand the true culture of our country. And then we want our children to understand the value of our culture too. Also, when I go and mingle with Australian people, I try to show my best behavior because I'm a kind of representative of India at this moment in front of them. So if I show my nice behavior and I talk nicely to them and I carry my cultural value, whenever some occasion come, I have to participate with my colleagues. I have to go outside with them. I don't drink with them. I don't eat anything with them. And they just give me more respect. Oh, this is the lady. She is carrying her culture. And even though we are eating in front of her, she is controlling her mind very well.
So I think you are that purest vegetarian, right?
Yeah, I eat sattvic food. First, I offer to the Lord, and after that, I consume.
Okay, so where does it come from, like the sattvic? Of course it is, they are in spirit, scriptures, like the whole prakriti is made up of three elements, like the virtues, like gunas, triguna atmak srishti, like rajas, tamas, and sattva that you just said. So where from you got this principle, like in your life? Which book that you have read so that you got this ideology to implement in your life?
I get the idea from where which you got it. So I got the same book, Bhagavad Gita.
Gita. So have you read complete?
Yeah, I did.
So
Even
I'm gonna,
I, so, sorry to interrupt you, even I have given paper. I
yeah,
passed the exam as well.
Gita.
Yeah.
What kind of exam it is?
Some of the shloka we have to recite, and some of the questions comes there. What the Bhagavad Gita says, five elements of Bhagavad Gita.
What was the purpose of this exam that you given for Bhagavad Gita, like you just said?
I just because I told you na because I'm not in my country and after coming here, even though I used to take fast while I was in my country, but I was just following ritual. But after coming here, I was missing my country, so I started to go to the temples. We have Indian temples here as well, so I started to go to the temple, and from there I got some knowledge. Okay, we need to read Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is a manual of life, and if we follow Bhagavad Gita shloka, what Lord Krishna has mentioned there, then I can make my life more peaceful, more happier. So that's why I am following this.
Okay. So, when you said that you belong to this, I think, world, like the spiritual world. So I think, in Indian context, we see life in consistency, but in, other parts of the world, they see life in an isolated form. Like they focus only one aspect of our life. Like in Indian aspect, the way of life that we follow, like in the first stage of life, 4 stages of life. First student, then grasta ashram, then I think
Yes.
sannyas, and then
Yes.
vanaprastha, and the last one is
Yes.
sannyas. And
Yes.
in this 4 stages, we focus on 4 things, like 4 stages: dharma,
Yes.
arth, kam, moksha. So, arth, that is a materialistic perspective. It is just one part out of four in Indian, way of life. But if you see the other world, like America, the Australia is also, they focus only one aspect of life, that is materialistic things. They hardly worry about what happened after life, something like that. But we do in India care about these things, and for that purpose, we serve the animals like cow, crow. We worship the mountains, Himalaya mountain. We worship plants, the people. We worship the rivers like Ganga. So
Yes.
these are that we inculcated in our life. So in this philosophy, we carry different kind of ideas, like. And when you said that, I have little bit touch with the Bhagavad Gita. So many questions are corrupting in my mind. Like, do you know about Nishkam Karma Yoga? But was that to what extent that you follow this like Nishkam Karma Yoga in your life?
We just need to do our duty. We need not to attach with the motive result. People, they do some kind of charity and they go to the temple and they ask to the Lord, can I have this? Can I have big car? Can I have big house? Something like that. So whenever we do some kind of austerity, we just need to offer this to the Lord. And whatever I do, I dovetail this to the service to the Lord. So whatever we are doing, like if I am looking after my children, and if I think these children belongs to Lord,
Yeah,
yes, I need to raise them in that way. They become also devotee.
yeah,
Yeah, so that way I am what I'm doing. I'm doing a devotional service. Even I cook in the kitchen for Lord. I offer to the Lord, and then we eat this prasad. So this is also Nishkam Karma. But when we have inside, okay, I'm eating puri because I like it. I'm eating pizza because I want to satisfy my tongue. It is like I'm just doing work for myself, for my sense gratification, to satisfy my sense gratification, not to satisfy the Lord desire. So when, as a living entity, if I am aligned with the Lord's word, what Lord's mentioned in the Gita, then only I can feel more content, more happy. But if I'm thinking, okay, this word belongs to me, I'm a teacher here, I got this luxury, I got this car, I got this house, I'm the superior, I'm this and that, then what happened? I am temporary, this house is temporary, I am myself temporary.
so basically, the things that you mentioned, of course, these are the things like when people ask me that, to what extent I value the money. So I say the simple answer is that no, money is necessary. Like with the help of money, I can afford my food, shelter,
Yes,
medicines. But
yes,
with the help of money, I can't, afford. I can
yes,
afford food, but not the hunger. I can afford cozy, bed, but not the sleep.
yes,
So the
yes,
satisfaction is, I think mental state of it's a state of mind, not something materialistic that we can feel by touching or
yeah,
eating something like that. Many people assume that Bhagavad Gita belongs to Hinduism. They consider because they, it's,
yes,
I think, little ignorance. They consider Hinduism as a religion, and then they consider Bhagavad Gita, a Hindu religion text. But it's not like that, because in Bhagavad Gita, you may get answers to all your queries, whether it is
that's true,
materialistic and
that's
spiritualistic.
true. That's true. Bhagavad Gita has solution for all the questions we have in our life. You know what happened, Arjuna, where he was? He was fighting. He was about to fight with his relative and he was bewildered. Do I fight or not? And then Krishna, he mentioned all the, like we are also bewildered. We have so many problems. And Arjuna was in the same situation like us. So Krishna, through Arjuna, he wanted to give us solution of the problem we have these days in our lives. So we should follow this because it's a manual, it's a human manual. If we follow that, it's not just for the Hindus, it's for the everyone. Because I have seen here the president of the temple, he's Australian.
Yeah.
So lots of Australian people, not even Australian, you can see lots of foreigners, they are following this ISKCON very religiously. more than us, more
Yeah,
than
yeah,
us. You can't believe.
yeah. It's truth basically. Na? In India, एक statement है घर की मुर्गी दाल बराबर. Because
Yes,
when people get something easily at their home, they don't value it. But
yes,
for people who I think again by hard work, suppose
yes,
think
yes. So you are frozen again.
is it okay now? And the other one like you have to face the prarabdha because you can see like Ramakrishna Paramahams, he was so elevated in the spiritual field,
Mm,
still he suffered the cancer. So prarabdha you have to face, and that is a
yes,
kriya that I think will not cause any effect because you are working according to Nishkam Karma Yoga. So basically Nishkam Karma Yoga is far, because if you don't follow this principle, you are getting bonded by the actions of your karma. But
yes,
when you start following these, no matter what you are doing, you are not attached to the karma, and definitely that will not cause any, I think, bad effect. That will not lead you to take another form. So I think we have this goal. Like I'm also following like, and I do believe this is my last birth. I'm not going to have another one because I know certain. So,
and you should pray for me as well. Yeah.
it's interesting thing like when people say that. Of course, these are, I think, kind of things that we need to do in our life, like go to the temple, have the pray,
Mm,
chant the shlokas, read. Of course, Navda Bhakti, nine kind of bhakti. So in that,
yeah,
reading scripture is also a bhakti. Singing, mantra, shloka is also bhakti. And chanting
yeah,
the name that you chant the Mahamantra, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, in your
yeah.
cult. So these are the things. But when you continuously the way you are following the things of your life in your life, like you cook the food, first offer to the god, then take that food as a prasad, and that's a very noble thing. Many scriptures it is mentioned that whatever you do, like in Bhagavad Gita, the Lord was saying, do whatever you want to do, just do
Mm-hmm.
first. One thing is that offer to me no matter what you are doing. And even he said that you know fight the war but take my name, keep repeating my name. So I'm not
Mm,
basically good at citing the shlokas, but I'm just giving the explanation. So this
mm,
like they are in a different kind of thing. So because of that, when you have good by the side of you, like partner, parents, so you have little bit security. So same is the case. Maybe the god is beside me, as my partner, as my guru, parents, something like that, because I do believe one shloka I'm going to say like sarvam khalmidam brahmane nasti kinchan. So the
mm,
whole cosmos, the whole universe is constituted of god. So nothing we are the God. Whatever we see, good, bad, day, night, everything is constituted of God. So
mm,
like ekam sat vibrahvauda badanti. It is from Rig Veda. So the truth is one, but many people followed according to their perceptions, according to their tastes. So
mm,
like these are the things.
yeah,
So mm,
yeah,
that reason I do believe like okay, this is my last birth. I'm not going to have another one. No matter how bad no matter how bad, how good I'm going to suffer, I'm going to suffer this only, and after that I, I may not be able to come to this world. Yeah, when I'm answering the question in the sense that when you said that we can't avoid the birth, but do you know that the human birth we get is not something that we have performed good. Okay, we got. No, it's by the grace of God. Otherwise, think if you are taking birth in this Kali Yuga, think of that. You are eternal soul. So I
mm,
think yeah, He has given us an opportunity to come to this earth and then do the things that you just mentioned. That these are the things that I'm doing, and believe me, if you are what goes around that comes around. That's a fact. Karma never space to anyone. So yeah, that I believe in.
yeah. Yeah, that's true. And I also believe that human form of life is very rare. We get
Yeah,
this life, so we should feel we are so fortunate. And because we are in this Kali Yuga, this is like a kind of escalator. We can just go very quickly.
yeah.
And previously, our elevated souls, what they used to do, they used to go for us and they used to do some kind of worship. But we need not to do it. We still can live in our family. We still can do service to the Lord. We can offer service to the Lord. And also, I just want to say as a conclusion that every action has a reaction.
Yeah,
So if
yeah,
you do good action, then get good result. If you do bad action, get the bad result. Sometimes people they say, why these things happening to me? Why I'm suffering from this problem? But they don't really know because they have done something in their past life or just before, and that's why they are suffering. This is the material world. This is the house of suffering. So we need to suffer. We are part and parcel of the Lord, and we are not with Him. That's why we are suffering,
yeah,
and when we go back to our Godhead home, what will happen? We feel internally happy.
yeah,
Yes. Okay, with
yes,
this note, I would like to stop because I think the recording is going really long and it is really nice talk. I would like to continue. I wanted to ask you about the Kashmir, but now maybe next meeting I will ask and we will continue this topic again. Yes. And nice to hear all these things out of your mouth. Like you are so young and you are holding this kind of belief and you are following spiritual principles and also you are after liberation. That is really good, and please pray for me, and it is very nice to meet very elevated devotee of the God, so I am so fortunate.
yeah.
So
Thank you so
thank you
much.
so much.
For
Bye.
us, you are the people carrying the image of India. So basically, you are carrying the values. It's I think close to my heart. So thank you so much for carrying my Indian value to the world around, and we can. So thank you so much, Johnny, for joining me, and
Thank
have
you
a
so much. Thank you. Lovely conversation I had with you.
show, ma'am.